Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Of the Devil, Episode 2. Kat and I are here, and we are going to court.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Do I remember any of our evidence? Nope.
Well, that's why they put it in a handy tab. So you don't have to.
I was going to say, I think we have stuff to read, too.
We do. So before we jump into whatever she's going to say, we should probably look at terms, profiles, and evidence. Let's go into profiles real quick. Okay, Mireille Ikaria question mark. I guess we don't know for sure if she's in their family.
Yeah, or maybe we're wondering if that's her last name.
Maybe. Okay, she's a representative. She likes sipping alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and arachnids. Okay. She dislikes sunrises, black tea, and photographers. Her favorite smell is the dojo floor, and she's the best at making use of people and the worst at hiding her distaste.
I just imagine her on a dojo, on the floor going, ugh, and smelling it.
No.
What else is she doing?
What else is she doing with her free time?
She's got a lot of it, I'm sure.
All right, and then we have 84. Automated dependent. She likes mountain air, gymnasts, and luxury. Dislikes happy couples who ask you to take their photo. How often does that happen?
Oddly specific. In court? Because isn't she only active here?
I don't know. Pineapple on pizza until proven guilty. Shopping carts always returned. Well, we appreciate that. So I guess she isn't here all the time. I guess she also goes shopping and eats pizza. Why is she eating food, though? They don't have to eat, presumably.
Well, in theory, it's just her opinion, not even something she eats.
Ah, okay. She just has an opinion on it, but she doesn't eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She just likes having opinions. She likes feeling included.
Okay.
I don't know.
Her favorite quote is, "Let he who is without sin play first or draw first." I don't think that's the quote, is it?
I don't know it.
Chat. Confirm. Okay. So let's look at our terms here. Do you want to start?
Sure. Barbitazine, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Noun, a depressant drug that loosens inhibitions and increases talkativeness. Originally developed as a hypnotic sleep aid drug for active duty military personnel, barbitazine is currently prescribed, though rarely, as an anti-anxiety and anti-seizure medication. Often depicted in popular culture and some drug manufacturers' promotional materials as a truth serum, barbitazine has never been shown to function as such in a controlled setting. When compared against a sampling of liquors ranging from 40 to 80 proof, barbitazine resulted in truthful confessions only 0.2% more often, and no subjects admitted to providing information that they were not already comfortable with divulging. Users also frequently search how to tell if someone is cheating, where to buy lie detector, see who has me muted on social media. Wow. What a group.
I don't think barbitazine is going to help with that last one.
Nope. I don't know how they're related.
But yeah, that's what
he was drugged with?
Yes. I was just about to say that's what our client was given. Okay. Tenants. Tenant Super System, a programming framework underlying the development of modern automated dependent software. All contemporary supported programming languages are built upon the tenant system, allowing users to designate a series of inviolable priorities for their code to pursue. Once added to a program, a tenant cannot be circumvented under any traditional circumstances, and even then, only if a tenant with a higher weight supersedes it. Tenants were first adopted in the field of computer science as a trio 3 priorities that governed how preserving human life, obeying human commands, and avoiding damage to human property should be prioritized. Well, we saw how that worked out with the Quarians and the Geth. Since then, the number of supported tenants has ballooned to 113, most of them requested by lobbyists in the insurance industry looking to better define relative financial value. Tenants are well known for increasing the decision time lag of programs. This, combined with their engineered inflexibility, has made it such that most programmers aim for a tenant limit below 30. Originally, the one tenant that could not be removed from any program was a TNT_safety0, aka tenant 0 or tenant 1. Said tenant dictated that the following program could not produce outcomes that would result in the harm to a living person. After the decision reached in People versus Volstance Defense Contractors, and the resulting widespread adoption of automated dependence in the military and security sectors, this is no longer required, though Tenant 0 may still be added to particularly benign or mundane software as a good luck charm, superstitious ritual, or joke.
Okay. GFA is showing results for genetic factor authentication. Genetic factor authentication is a password security system wherein a live blood sample is provided in combination with a username and a passkey in order to complete verification. GFA can only be conducted in person with the sample acquired by a trained on-site professional. Because of the physical realities of the verification process itself, GFA is considered cryptographically secure. It cannot be bypassed or hacked in any traditional sense. While some security systems and cryptographic algorithms incorporate biological elements in one or more ways, GFA, as it was originally developed, has gone largely unadopted throughout the business world. Few corporations are interested in trying information or resources to specific bloodlines as opposed to specific groups, and the verification process itself is inconvenient and, for most, while totally unusable for anyone working remotely. GFA is still offered, however, at some of the most prestigious and secure banks in the world, and families with particularly long lineages have been known to favor GFA for what are effectively symbolic reasons. Because GFA remains accessible to any past or future offspring of the initial registries, it is sometimes offered as a wedding or baby shower gift for couples intending to set up trusts. Users also frequently search for how to change lost password fast. Okay, those are two different things.
Oh, the
You're
full
welcome. I hope
quote,
you enjoy
let
your ice
he
cream.
who is without sin cast the first stone. That's what I thought. I was like, I don't think that's the quote.
What a shock. It's wrong.
Okay.
From 80.
We can read through the ones that we haven't looked at, but we might want to just skim the others
Freshen.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. Broken bat. A cheap wooden bat used to bludgeon Trey's skull post-mortem. Splintered beyond repair. During the bludgeoning, fingerprint analysis is proven inconclusive, returning only partial, so that's good. It was barring Sasuke from exiting the other room before I used it to destroy Trey's eyes. But no one else knows that, and I have no way of informing them. What a pain.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that it has her little comments about it.
Yeah.
A simple, or Creek's data pad, a simple data pad with an attachment for processing non-standard identification info, commonly sold to allow payment processing of unusual or rare forms. Besides,
Sorry.
Oh, hello. No, it's fine. Besides some partials, fingerprints were found matching those of Creek and Officer Chopin. Technicians have confirmed that the data pad is locked to Creek's fingerprints, making it difficult for anyone else to use it. Dark card is stuck quite firmly into the attached card reader. Couldn't avoid touching it. Oh, sorry. That makes sense. Yeah, you read.
Oh, I was just going to read it because it's Morgan's, like...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Couldn't avoid touching it. Had to at least pretend the dark card would work.
Yeah.
I mean, was she using gloves when she swiped the card? Or did she...
I don't know.
She might have dusted it off. I don't remember, but, like, that could be a problem.
Yep.
Hopefully not, but... Okay, Creek's note, ? A note scrawled onto a small piece of paper reading M. Icaria. Oh, well, it's spelled wrong, but... Handwriting is by and large a match for other documents penned and initialed by Creek found at the crime scene. Okay.
Cut bindings. Hardy cloth bindings found inside the room where Sasuke was held. Stiff with dried blood and clearly cut with something sharp.
Okay, dark card, a physical card key that begins the authentication process for accessing funds located in a cryptographically secure account. Without the fingerprint of the owner and their 24-digit passcode, the card alone is functionally useless. Forensics show all fingerprints have been wiped off of it at some point. Okay, good. Recovered at the crime scene, stuck in the card reader of a datapad. Only reason I had to take my gloves off in the first place was because of this useless piece of plastic.
Mag us or US? Magos.
I don't know.
A short-barreled maglev firearm recovered from the scene of the crime. Registered to Ankur Tan, aka Tanks, found on Sasuke Ikaria's person when he was arrested by Officer Rogers. Fingerprint analysis shows that Sasuke Ikaria gripped it with his left hand. No one else's fingerprints are present. Modified to an illegal extent, the slugs fired detonate after penetrating their target, increasing lethality, and the gun leaves no digital traces, tags, from when or where it was fired.
Horribly gaudy, but got the job done. Last I saw it, I'd left it in Sasuke's waistband.
Yep.
Needles, projectile hypodermic needles recovered from the room where Sasuke was being held. The contents within match the non-lethal anesthetics found in Sasuke's bloodstream at the time of his arrest, though other needles were found containing stimulants and drugs commonly marketed as truth serums.
Sound system. Oh. Did the others make a noise? Or is that because it comes with a picture?
Maybe because it came with a picture.
Okay. Sound system. A sound system found at the scene of the crime. According to the ARCs, the system was still playing music loudly by the time the crime scene tech started scanning the environment.
It really was giving me a headache when I turned it off. Didn't enjoy having to turn it back on before I left just to leave no trace. Windows.
Oh. Is it a balcony? Oh, yeah, it's the balcony that leads to the fire escape.
Right. The windows of the scene of the crime, positioned behind Creek's desk, opens to the alley and the fire escape. Blood spatter across the windows has, through forensic analysis, been traced back to when a Magus shell split inside Creek's ribcage, spraying blood and viscera behind him. Fingerprints on the handles match Creek and the rest of his pod. Okay, so we also have the dumpster, which it was moved recently.
Right.
Fire escape. Poorly maintained, missing the ladder that would normally let you climb up from the street. One could only freely move back and forth between the third floor room.
Yeah.
Where the bodies were found in the second floor room.
Okay. I thought it was the floor before, not the floor above. My bad. I would have gotten it wrong.
Front door utilizes physical lock and key mechanism and designed to automatically lock behind you when leaving the building. Lock currently damaged and non-functional. This is her business card?
Her signature card, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if we're gonna need that.
Yeah, it might be something we use later.
Right now.
Unless she's on the bench, then we'll...
Well, she might be, but I don't know if we'll need her card yet.
You flirt with with people around you. Here's proof.
Blood from various sources, numerous bones in left hand broken. These are like all his injuries.
Jesus Christ, buddy.
Yeah.
And also we found out he was probably beat up by the cops afterward too.
Yeah, here's the additional injuries.
Yeah.
So might need that. Red ink.
Red ink.
Okay. Documents found, mostly blotted out by the blood coming from Chopin's corpse.
How convenient.
Apparently contained confidential information of high value, only the occasional page number. Graphic or name can be spotted. Yeah.
Like decipher.
Yeah, it has something to do with the election.
Right.
Here's the sword. So, yeah, Chopin was impaled with that. Fingerprints match.
Totally
Sasuke.
Stabbed one of them through the neck. Yeah. Oh, Trey's head. Right.
Yep. Okay. Yep, that's it. All right. Are you ready?
See if I remember voices. Let's go. Now let's crack open those opening statements and get this case summarized.
Gladly, Your Honor. People of the court, the defendant in this case is a man named Sasuke Karia. He was found at the scene of the crime where 2 men were shot to death. One was stabbed in the neck and another had their skull bashed in.
There's a lot that happened.
There's a lot.
And a police officer was impaled through the back with a sword.
Oh no, not the stonks.
Cop killing piece of shit is what the crowd is saying.
Okay.
Please pardon any outbursts from the gallery that your mics may inadvertently pick up. Now I understand that the scale of violence on display here today may intimidate you. But I want to stress to all of you now that your responsibility here today is neither taxing nor complex. You will hear testimony. You will be showed evidence. And all of it will point towards the truth. That the defendant is the only individual who could have possibly committed these crimes. That is a simple fact. And the only one of you need concern yourself with.
Convenient. Ooh, she's as cold as ice.
Is she referencing that song?
She's as cold as ice. But every ice age beckons a kindling. For as ashes call to cinders and embers form champions.
Ember.
Huh? Speaking of embers.
You're being referenced.
It's cold.
She just jumped up on the chair, too.
She knew.
Defense is ready, Your Honor. Am I screaming that? Why is it so big?
Yeah. You're like interrupting her.
Oh. Emma did stick to cold logic, so if I follow her with more of the same, it'll end up falling flat. This gallery will never warm up to us. But that can work to our advantage if the jury comes to see these cops as witch hunters eager to start a pyre. Choose the most outlandish words you can.
Huh.
Go for broke. Okay.
Okay.
It's not like masters never taught me anything. I know how to do the razzle-dazzle. My fellow citizens, you were brought here today because an act of violence took place that could only be described as...
Unspeakable.
Unspeakable. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Unspeakable. I should know. I was there.
She was
Morgan!
there. Ma'am.
Morgan.
I know she's saying because she was, but like...
Yeah. I saw the blood on the ground, the bullet holes in the walls, felt the...
I would say horror or malevolence. But I'm
yeah, unease is not enough. I don't know. Malevolence seems...
Horror feels more emotional. Malevolence is a bigger word.
Malevolence... I think...
Evil?
Yeah,
is like,
that's...
It's, so that, I guess, yeah. Horror and evil are kind of... It's just one's more fear, one's more malicious. And I don't know which one they are leaning towards.
Oh, well, I'm almost positive it's not unease.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
like
I don't think it's unease.
That's so relaxed.
It's the vanilla option.
Yeah, I don't know if horror would be enough though, because I don't know. To me, malevolence feels like the more evocative word.
That's fair.
Felt the malevolence
yeah.
that radiated in the air. And I also saw where my client was held prisoner. And I knew exactly where he must have stood because his sweat and blood had stained the tile. My client, a decorated veteran, the man you see standing next to me here, not even fully healed from his... torture?
Torture?
Yeah, I think
it's
torture.
Trauma or it's not ordeal.
No,
but like
his ordeal, where he was drugged and tortured.
Yeah, I think trauma's a little bit more of a like vague term, whereas torture is like explicit.
Yeah, torture is less... Torture feels more specific.
Yeah. I'd agree.
From his torture, was taken into police custody with lacerations, bruises, internal bleeding, broken bones. And while he was in police custody, he somehow sustained a black eye, a busted lip, a broken nose, and a boxed ear. A puzzle which I'm sure any one of the officers in this gallery today would be happy to testify about.
Stonks, no. You
You
gonna let her say that?
that?
The crowd's upset.
You want me to object during an opening statement?
Phoenix might.
I mean,
Much is resting on the outcome of this trial. 5 men lie dead in the morgue, one of them a police officer, Tariq.
Don't speak his name, you mob lawyer, bitch!
How is that allowed?
I don't. Kick him out.
Yeah.
Hang
Hang
Damn.
her too. Are they still hanging people? Like, what?
Hey, cab. I'm just saying. This is. Hey, we like to have fun in this courtroom. Ma'am, this is not the place for fun, but okay. Put on a good show. But that's because we're on the stage. Any more outbursts from the gallery, and I'll clear the entire room.
Good.
You can all watch the rest on your phones or peek in through the keyhole like a bunch of sweaty looky-loos. Counselor, let's wrap this up.
Yes, Your Honor. The fact of the matter is, on that night, my client was not in any condition to kill anyone. Not 4 hardened criminals, and certainly not a trained police officer. And nothing about my client's background, his associations, or that of the victims can change that fact. So as you listen to all the evidence in this trial, with fairness and impartiality, as I know you will strive to, I only ask that you focus on the reality of this horrible crime, and not on the fiction that all the people will try to weave for you. Thank you.
Decorated veteran?
You telling me you never earned a single commendation, most push-ups of the day or something?
Never mind. I suppose it could have gone much worse.
You're too kind.
I was trying to be honest. The crowd got agitated, but you maintained a level head and recovered your tempo. Adonai is a master at doing so. I've seen her make comebacks from the most nonsensical mistakes before. In martial arts, they call it an ukemi?
Maybe.
A graceful fall. That is basically correct.
Well, try not to gracefully fall over when you see the first witness on the docket, Sasuke.
What do you mean by that? Oh no. Who
Oh
is that?
no. Hi, hero.
Hello.
And welcome in.
your name and occupation for the record.
Okay. That's interesting. But also,
a
I've
hologram?
completely forgotten your voice. Also, witness? Huh? Is it just like a testament to his
Maybe he's gonna talk about when.
personality?
Maybe he's gonna talk about the kidnapping attempt.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, because that's how it started. Oh, fuck. I really don't remember what voice I gave you. I think it was like Snotty Emma.
Sure.
How can that be necessary? If some blathering idiot in the courtroom doesn't already know who I am, they don't deserve.
Sorry,
I
I'm
know,
jamming in the
but
courtroom.
would you consider it, if only for the sake of a ceremony? Ceremony is important and should be respected. Very well. I am Makoto Ikaria of House Ikaria. My occupation is that of student. Of
Try
actual
not to
child.
look Try not to look so smug about it when you blatantly lie.
Right, of course. And your position with the Ikaria Financial Group?
Is not salaried. Must I really declare it here?
Hard to imagine why the noble house of Ikaria is getting audited.
Sasuke, are you all right? Can he see us?
He can see me, Rockford, and the adjutant. Witnesses teletestifying don't really need much else.
So he's safe?
Yes, Sasuke, he's safe, like he was yesterday. Probably sitting right where I left him, or standing on a box. I think the hologram's given him a boost so he can see over the stand.
That's good. The boost to his height? That he's safe at home. I'm sorry that he can't see you, Sasuke. Don't be. After how horribly I've failed him,
I'd like you to speak a bit about the events of August 13th.
I said Ukami right? Hell yeah.
About the last time you saw the defendant, Sasuke, Ikaria.
I'm here today, not physically, but here nonetheless, as a courtesy. That does not mean I will flap my gums like some sort of flapping gum puppet.
Permission to treat the witness as hostile incoming. Emma Rockford raking a spoiled brat over the coals. This all must be worth the price of admission alone. And the price of admission was killing 4 people?
Maybe just, as a treat.
I understand. It was a traumatic experience, I'm sure. Anyone of normal upbringing would barely be able to recall a single detail, let alone the full day's events.
Normal upbringing?
I should probably dismiss you so you could get back to your summer studies.
Summer studies? Like some common waif? Wow.
Wave, that's quite the vocab pool. I didn't know they taught that in State Basic.
Basic?
Was I mistaken?
Listen well, Madam Rockford, as I demonstrate to you exactly how misguided you are about my powers of retention.
Please do.
Played like a damn fiddle.
Why wasn't she mentioned during any of our trial preparations? Adonai has only won against her once.
So far, every hot streak starts somewhere.
Hot streak. I really am going to prison, aren't I? Where shall... Oh, nope. That's not Adonai. Or that's not...
Well,
I'm just getting everything fucked up. It's fine. Where shall I start?
As far back as you can.
he's like, well, I was born
Back
8
when I was
years
in the
ago.
womb. A fetus.
Yesterday.
Like Ness.
And like Ness.
A simple task. For the past year, members of the organization, most commonly referred to as the Blue Bloods Mafia, have been making attempts on my life. Did you steal their lunch money or something?
I hope so.
I am the primary beneficiary of my grandfather, Daisuke Ikaria's will. Committed to the bit.
Yep.
In common parlance, I am the sole heir to the Ikaria Financial Group. You could buy so much lunch. The group you know as the Blue Bloods have been jealous of my family's financial foresight for decades. I am merely the most recent target of their impotent attempts to nip at our heels.
And 2 days ago, on August 13th, how impotent was their attempt then?
I was leaving a meeting held on the upper floors of Crane Tower. My security detail escorted me to the elevators, where we would then proceed down to their canopy access floors.
This was all planned in advance. Planned out in advance, same thing. By my head of security, Sasuke Ikaria. But the elevator became stuck with unnatural timing. When Sasuke pried the doors open, we saw that we were stuck between the 62nd and 61st floor. Pried open? With a tool?
Leading the witness, Your Honor.
He didn't need a tool to open the doors. His bare hands were more than sufficient.
Help Sasuke out here, kid.
We submitted to evidence the defendant's Akita Type 2 military-grade spinal mod, designed to enhance strength, endurance, and reflexes for high-intensity combat scenarios. Yes, sir. It is so admitted. What happened next? The decision was made that we would crawl out onto the 61st floor and head for the service elevators. But when Sasuke and I exited, the elevator started up. It was a trap. We had been cut off from the rest of my detail. You were isolated and defenseless. That must have been. Ha! Hardly defenseless. You really think my personal head of security wouldn't be armed? He had Yoru.
Don't tell
What's the
me
name of the sword?
you named your sword.
All great swords have names.
In Game of Thrones.
Thank you, Sarah. Very well put.
Let the record show that the witness has identified Exhibit B3 as belonging to the defendant. This sword was recovered by the police in a known blue blood den in the lower wards. Found impaled into the body of Tariq Chopin. And forensics has shown that the only fingerprints on it are those of the defendant.
There's still time for you to disown it, Sasuke.
You understand nothing about a swordsman's heart, Adonai. Once again, it is your paralegal that has the right of it. Perhaps she should be the one leading my defense. Damn.
If this somehow turns into a fencing competition, I'll gladly defer to you two.
So you, Sasuke, and Yoru were on the 61st floor together. What happened next? When we arrived at the service elevators, Sasuke called them, and then they made a chime. And I didn't clearly see much of what happened next, to tell the truth. Figures emerged from around the corners. They were aimed weapons at me. Aiming weapons. A red dot shone on my chest. And then Sasuke was there, and a needle was sticking out of his arm. Yoru glinted. Sasuke had drawn it in the blink of an eye. Something glanced off it and dropped to the floor. I saw a syringe at my feet. Yoru's sheath was thrust into my arms, pushing me back into the elevator, and I landed on my rear.
But
That's clearly a key piece of testimony. Let's play it back 5 times.
What matters is he pushed me back into the elevator with Yoru's sheath.
Shoru's yeeth is what I almost
Yeah.
said.
How I landed is irrelevant and should be stricken from any public record. The only other thing I saw was Sasuke's back. He slammed his hand against the elevator's control panel, and then the door shut. That's the last time you saw the defendant. The decision was made that I should get on a VTOL as soon as possible. But much of my details stayed behind to access what had happened. Assess? I'm not good with words. I'm fine. Yes, they were very helpful to building security and recovering Exhibit 5C. This hypodermic needle gun.
What kind of bonehead would leave evidence like that behind?
A bonehead in a rush, perhaps, Your Honor. It does appear to have exhausted its gas canister, so it may have outlived its usefulness.
I take it that this weapon is a match for the projectile needles found in the room where my client was restrained.
Correct. Others look exactly like they were recovered from the scene of the ambush as well. Makoto, did you see the faces of the men who attacked you? All too clearly. I can tell you every detail of their roughshod countenance. Ah, that sounds like a good bit of testimony. Hit it.
What? Oh. I guess
Okay.
it's letting us know it's time.
A pineapple head-like man and a raincoat-clad hooligan came at us first. They aimed at me, but Sasuke got between us and blocked every shot. With Yoru, he could have closed the distance, but then a dark-eyed scoundrel approached him. Oh my god, approached from the right. And a man with a ridiculous pompadour took advantage of that distraction. I'll never forget their faces of those cowards. They tried to kill me. So whatever happened to them afterwards, I'm sure they deserved it.
Sir.
Makoto's putting his talents for hyperbole on full display. I'll have to fact check his description in order to get the ball rolling.
So, like, raincoat clad and pineapple head, like, I can't remember.
Can we look at the profiles?
We might have been able to while Morgan was thinking, I think, if I remember correctly, but it won't let us
Why
during
don't you
these
let us
moments.
look? Why can't we look at
Yeah.
them now?
I think we had that complaint in the first
Yeah.
chapter too. Ow. Hit my knee.
Dark-eyed scoundrel, a ridiculous
the
pompadour.
It's a blonde boy.
Here's the thing, though.
Dark-eyed scoundrel is probably the one with the eye augments, I assumed.
Maybe. I question this statement because they were not trying to kill him, right? Weren't they trying to kidnap him?
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll have to press on that, but we should look at their profiles.
Though I don't know
well,
if
we
we
have-
want to press. I mean,
We have Rockford's.
okay.
All right. Assistant district attorney, likes art museums, amethysts, and turn-based RPGs. Dislikes ballrooms, boardrooms, and cliques. Favorite quote: flower in the mirror, moon on the water. Favorite subject: psychology. Exercises by subject seemed not to hear the question.
Okay.
Okay, so we added the needle gun. A needle gun and projectile is found at Crane Tower, where Makoto and Sasuke were ambushed. This model utilizes the same kind of projectile needles recovered from the room where Sasuke was held and interrogated. Fingerprints on the weapon match those of the victim, Creek.
Creek's pompadour. Needles, projectile, hypodermic needles, or No, hypodermic.
Wait, I think we already read this. I think this is new.
Oh, you're right. Needles identical to those were these were recovered from Crane Tower where Sasuke and Makoto were ambushed.
Okay, identified by Makoto as Sasuke's personal sword, Yoru, taken along with Sasuke down to the lower wards following an ambush on Makoto.
Okay.
Okay. So that was just updating
Right.
them. Anyway, profiles. Okay, so that's the guy that was murdered. Creek would be
Creek's the pompadour.
the pompadour.
Yeah. Who succeeded at the end.
Oh, that's our bro.
That's, yeah.
Tanks.
Is he the pineapple head?
Is he the pineapple head?
I do wonder if he's supposed to be the pineapple head. Like the
No,
top
not
of the
you.
pineapple leaves are kind of like that. And I think that's the dark-eyed because of his augments.
Was Trey there though?
I guess.
Because wasn't Trey the...
He was the doorman, but he was
Yeah.
still in on it because he was there. We killed him, so.
Yeah, I know that. I just didn't know if he was there during the attempt, like the...
Yeah, I don't know. And there's one more, isn't there?
This one.
You.
Miller.
What was the other? Oh, raincoat. Yeah, okay.
So this is Raincoat.
I think Tanks is Pineapple Head.
Tanks is Pineapple Head. Well, who's the Dark Eyes then? Or is that Trey?
I'm guessing I think that's Trey because his eyes are black. Because of the augments he has in his eyes.
I don't think... Wait, was he the one who
Scaleras are
had
black.
the augmented eyes, though?
I think he does.
Or was it Tanks? Was it Trey?
No, it wasn't
Which one?
Tanks. It might have been Trey or...
Hold on. Which one?
What's his name? The Raincoat.
Trey. Okay. Yeah, because Morgan bashed the eyes, right? Yeah, I
Right.
used it to destroy Trey's eyes. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Just wanted to double check that. Okay, so Trey would be Dark Eyes then. Tanks is Pineapple Head, I guess. And Pompadour is
You have to really remember what
Creep.
pineapple freaking leaves look like to make the association.
and then Miller's Raincoat.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to what he says.
Now that we know who's who.
Fact check his description. Okay.
Pineapple head-like man, raincoat, aimed at me, but Sasuke got between us and blocked every shot. With your... He could have closed the distance, but then a dark-eyed scoundrel approached from the right.
Trey.
Excuse me. And
then
a
that's
man with a
Creep.
ridiculous pompadour took advantage of that distraction. Never forget the faces of those cowards. They tried to kill me. I'm not sure what we're fact-checking because I don't remember if we know even how it all went down before this. Like, I don't remember how Sasuke might have described what happened. Do we have, like, his...
I still think we need to press this one because they weren't trying to kill him.
Yeah, they were trying to kidnap
Like,
him
that's the only
for ransom.
contradiction I can see right now because I think
Yeah.
his descriptions are all correct. I was looking for something wrong in the descriptions
Blatantly
just
wrong,
because of
yeah.
what Morgan said, but this
The
is the only
closest
thing.
could be Pineapple Head, but, like, I see it, so, like...
yeah. I think it's this one because they did not try to kill him. I mean, they were using
Tranks,
a
yeah.
tranquilizer gun essentially. So, oh right, and it yeah. Okay, so this is correct
Ah.
then. I think because it highlights what we're like the important part,
Focusing on.
right? Which is what I thought. So,
Yeah.
all right, call. Smack him in the face. Pick any card. Oh, the needles, right? Fired by
Fired by-
attackers at
yeah.
Makoto's ambush. Contain non-lethal anesthetics. Effective regardless of mods. Yeah, because this doesn't.
Yeah, because
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Needles.
not related.
Wanna bet?
Forgot it goes to Emma.
They couldn't have been trying to kill the witness, not with non-lethal projectiles.
They fired a lot of them. The witness doesn't weigh that much.
Don't try it. This attack was clearly planned with the intent of capturing Makoto alive. Okay, so I was right in my thinking.
Yeah.
Meaning what? That four of this case's victims were actually soft-hearted pacifists.
There's nothing soft-hearted about what they did to my client after capturing him, using tools they clearly originally planned to use on the witness.
So they're sadists. I'm getting confused here.
She's just picking her nose.
Ma'am?
So is the defense, Your Honor. What matters is that the witness has identified the defendant's captors as the four blue blood victims that he is accused of murdering.
Makoto, why is the screen doing this? Makoto did establish that much.
Discord don't like it.
But something about this attack still bothers me. Emma put Makoto on the stand specifically to identify the victims. Is it possible that the men who attacked them weren't Creek's pod?
I mean, we double checked all of the comparisons. I don't know who would even be close to that description.
No, they were absolutely... Yeah, that has to be his pod. Like,
What
there
does it say
were...
if you hover over them?
They were attacked by Creek's pod. They
Oh,
were attacked
okay.
by some other... No, it has to be Creek's pod.
Yeah, it has to be Creek's
Those
pod.
descriptions are too specific, and it fits every single one.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
Also, I don't know if we want to save soon just in case.
oh, yeah, good point. I will save next to that one. Yeah, we'll save there. Okay. I don't disagree, Your Honor. The men who attacked Makoto and took Sasuke captive are the same ones who ended up dead that night. But 2 questions do occur to me. Why were you safe on that service elevator if Sasuke surely collapsed the very moment it shut? Wouldn't these men have pursued you by any means necessary? That is a good question.
That is... I can answer that, Your Honor. When the police inspected the scene, they found that the control panel for calling that elevator on the 61st floor was broken. Smashed, in fact. The attackers would have had to manually pry open the doors to even attempt to chase after Makoto. And that would take remarkable modded strength. Did you smash the button that forcefully, Sasuke?
I may have used more force than necessary. I wasn't exactly trying to hold myself back at the time.
You hit the controls hard enough to break them?
Yeah, that's
So the Blue Bloods couldn't pursue you further and instead elected to take Sasuke captive.
A Sasuke in the hand is better than a Makoto in the bush.
Thanks,
Kip.
80.
The head of Makoto's security would surely have made for an invaluable source of information for planning future attacks. Were he made to talk?
We're made to talk.
We're made to talk.
Are you denying that?
No, but I would like to ask the witness one other question. Why did you get off the elevator in the first place? Oh yeah, Great Destroyer says he is claustrophobic. I wonder if that's going to be
probably.
why he...
What are you... Hey, what I mentioned in the lobby earlier, that's...
The mics might not be picking up on it for you, but from where I'm standing, I can't help but overhear my client groaning about how badly he failed you.
That's not evidence or testimony, and so should be stricken from the record.
But we get the idea. So bailing out early, the defendant's big brain idea.
As head of my personal security detail, such a decision is ultimately his to make. However, that decision may have been influenced by his knowledge of the fact that I am not especially comfortable in enclosed spaces.
What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to humiliate him?
He'll get over it. In part.
Yep.
I'm also
He said do
trying
anything
to
to save
insult
him.
you. He did.
Had we simply waited, we would have remained safe, but I was not comfortable and felt very warm. So it was not a tactical failure on Sasuke's part per se.
Just an error of judgment.
Counselor Morgan.
What's up? You can disconnect the call if...
Ask me another question. Ask me about how bravely Sasuke defended me. Huh. So that's your angle?
We can't all be as naturally gifted at extracting valuable testimony out of spoiled brats as Emma. But I can follow her example. Insult their pride, and these Ikaria snap back. As reliable as any knee-jerk reaction. And in Makoto's case, with infinitely less resistance than if I had simply asked him to testify.
It's usually the lawyers who do the asking and the witnesses who do the answering. This is not very realistic.
We ask that the witness testify for the court in more detail about exactly how valiantly Sasuke fought off the attackers.
And I guess the people don't object, even though it seems super extra?
No, the people don't object, Your Honor.
Emma's playing passively. Either I'm onto something here or I'm walking into a trap. Screw it. All in on the former.
Needle guns.
Sasuke medical
Sasuke
records.
med records.
Needles. Okay.
Sasuke was outnumbered from the beginning and protected me the whole time.
Okay.
It didn't matter that we were ambushed or that the blue bloods had projectiles.
The bloopers.
The tongue twister.
Sasuke took up Yoru in both hands and swatted their needles out of the air like a graceful swatter. He fought off 4 attackers and without sustaining a single injury.
Well, that's just a lie. Didn't he say that there was a needle in Sasuke's arm?
He did.
Mock him if you dare for being captured. But that's not a failure, not by any general's definition of the word. Hearing Makoto describe Sasuke's heroism, it's almost more impressive the second time.
He definitely fought without a care for himself, and there's evidence to show it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think-
really...
I gotta run to the bathroom real quick.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Yeah,
you.
I wasn't sure if, because you said Makoto said that he definitely was hit with a needle, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know that
You
would.
mentioned it sticking out of the arm.
Yeah, but I don't know that would count as like an injury, even if
Yeah,
it
I
would
don't know.
hurt, as opposed to the medical records. But I just wasn't sure if the medical records is what they want, because couldn't Emma argue that all this stuff happened after he was kidnapped?
Yeah.
I'm not
True,
sure.
We don't know.
But, I mean, this at least, the broken bones in his hand have to be from him hitting the elevator button.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So, I think maybe the medical records? What do you think?
No, that makes sense. I don't even think I would have made that connection.
So, he fought off 4 attackers without sustaining a single injury. We want to call this one?
Yeah, with the medical records.
Smack. Pick a card. Yeah, because, like, I don't think... Yeah, I don't think these are what they want. Because they would be like, well, it's non-lethal and it just
Yeah.
is an anesthetic, so... Dozens of injuries. Left hand broken, as if from a punch. Yeah, but I still think that's from him hitting the buttons, but we'll see.
Which makes sense. He said he did it really hard.
Yeah.
And he was like in a panic. Because he doesn't want anything to happen to Makoto.
Right. Unscathed is the last thing anyone called my client after the events of that day. One look at his medical data from when he was arrested will tell you that much.
What are you getting at, counselor? The defendant's
See,
injuries were
that's-
sustained. Yep.
I thought that's what she was going to come back with.
Yeah. But maybe we'll say, just kidding, no, though.
The
Yeah, we'll see.
defendant's injuries were sustained at the Blue Bloods' den, not at Crane Tower. The police didn't find even one drop of blood anywhere near the service elevator.
I guess my question
It
is,
wasn't
why does
blood.
it matter if he was injured there or not?
I guess we're just like looking for anything to
Just trying to,
contradict
yeah.
Makoto.
All right. Well, that is a miracle, a bloodless ambush. But the fact that no blood was found makes it all the more painfully obvious what actually happened to that elevator panel.
The elevator panel? Oh.
My client broke half the bones in his left hand, smashing it up. Yay, I saw that.
Yeah.
Did you really?
I might have. There was a lot of adrenaline at the time.
Did you not form a proper fist? Was your wrist not in alignment with your forearm?
As I said, Sarah, there was a lot of adrenaline.
Do you deny that his
And-
medical record clearly shows his left hand was broken?
Quick decision making, too.
Yeah.
Your Honor, what does it matter that the defendant broke his left hand closing that elevator? It changes nothing about the witness's testimony.
His testimony stands, or his testimony has been contradicted.
Wouldn't it be contradicted because the whole point was how brave he was, or like how he did everything so perfectly to defend him, but he hurt himself in the process? So it wasn't perfectly? like Makoto's claiming. But I don't know if that's enough to raise.
I mean, I think... I don't know if that's enough of a contradiction. Because
That's what I mean. Like, I can pull that, but I don't know if that's enough.
I don't know if that's enough either, especially because he's clearly just trying to make Sasuke, like...
Look good.
Yeah, it's not really... I don't think it would really affect... I don't think it would affect the rest of the testimony. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why
I don't
Morgan's
think it
adamant to, like...
I mean, I don't think it
Make him
invalidates
look
the rest
silly.
of the testimony, though. Do you think...
Yeah.
You think we should stay? And maybe try a different angle, if possible?
I'm just not sure what the other angle would be. So, like,
But-
he was talking about the... So we only have needles and medical report. What was the third thing?
The
gun?
needle gun was the other one.
Hmm.
But I don't know if it's... I don't think it's going to take us back to that. I mean, if we stay and
Yeah.
we're wrong, like, that'll... but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
if we stay and it's correct, I don't think it's going to take us back to that. I think Morgan's going to try something else.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't think it would be fair to say his whole testimony is contradicted and should be, like, thrown out or something.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I just don't know what the other angle
Do you want
is.
to try staying?
We can, yeah. I trust your instincts on these games because you tend to be more often right than I am.
Not always.
Well, no, I mean just more often than me. I'm usually thinking too hard about it from the game dev perspective of what will they do.
True, Sasuke's hand getting injured doesn't change what we've learned from this witness. But it does change the evidence you had him identify for the court. Changes the evidence?
To say that that's where the hand is. That's where the hand was damaged.
The katana. Yoru.
Yoru. Its name is Yoru.
We get it. Did you have a point to make, counselor?
Maybe. I
Is
just
it
don't know
because
what
of
it
which
is.
hand? Like, the hand wouldn't have been able to do the stabbing of Chopin because he's right-handed?
There we go. I don't want
That's
to
the
look
only
at
thing I could
profiles.
think
I want to look at
of.
evidence. Makoto's testimony. Okay. He identified Creek's pod as the four men, who attacked them, said that Sasuke defended him by wielding the katana with both hands. Okay, yeah, so that's
there
it.
is.
Makoto claims Sasuke pushed him into the elevator with Yoru's sheath before violently mashing the panel with his left hand to close the elevator door. Okay, so yeah, he wouldn't be using both hands then.
Yeah.
Why is that important? I think you're right in that it might be important for the murder of Chopin.
Yeah.
More
Maybe
so
not
than,
yet,
like,
but
yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
Okay. There's something odd about the katana that's been entered into evidence. Something that makes no sense given what we've learned about the outcome of this ambush. Let me look at the actual sword real quick just to make sure. Paled into the torso. Steel is chipped at several points, especially the tip. I don't know if that's going to be important.
Probably. I feel like he'd take better
fingerprints?
care of a sword.
Fingerprints on the handle match the right hand.
And that's the one that he smashed?
Let me double check. I don't think so. I think it was the left, but let me check this real quick. Where's his medical records? No, left hand broken.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if we're going to go from that angle and then if Emma's going to push back and be like, well, it was,
What hand?
Yeah. I don't know. But I think that's where it's going in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Namely the swords.
Oh. Well, we know the prince.
Thing.
I
Blood?
don't think the blood. Did it say his blood on it?
Hold on.
So he held the gun with the blade with his right hand.
Steel is chipped at the tip. Blood residue matches the DNA of Chopin, Miller, and Trey.
Wait. We only used it on one of those dudes. We used it on Miller, right? Wait, no. Who's Miller? Is that the other cop?
No, Miller's the one with the raincoat, I think.
Oh.
It was indulgent trying to take Trey's head off. Wasn't my only indulgence either. I must have gotten Miller's blood on the blade when I dragged it across the floor. So that's how it got blood from both of them on it.
Okay, because I was like, we only killed one with the blade.
Right. Did she chip it when she dragged it across the floor? I can't.
That wouldn't surprise me. I just don't know what that has to do with his fingerprint or like with his hand. Because like we're trying to prove what that because his hand got damaged. What related to the hand being damaged?
And it was his left
In his
hand.
left hand.
The prints are from his right hand. Unless
And which
she's
hand was
making the
injured
point.
again?
Unless she's making the point that he doesn't have prints from both of his hands.
Maybe.
And he only has one.
Yeah, they claim two. That's true.
That's the only thing I can think of because it says it matches the right hand. No other prints
No other
found.
prints.
So it's got to
Okay.
be the prints, right? Because
I
we
would
don't have
assume.
any other. I mean, I don't think the blood is important at this point, or the chipping.
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be
Right.
it's got to be the prints, right? Namely, the fingerprints that were found on the sword's handle. Fingerprints belonging to Sasuke's right hand.
You contradicted yourself, counselor. We've already discussed how it was your client's left
Ha!
hand that
I-
he broke closing the elevator.
I knew what you were gonna say, Emma.
There's nothing contradictory about him using his right arm to wield the blade.
Kita's played enough Phoenix Wright to know where you're going. It can be like this because Sasuke has two hands.
The people are correct. The sword found at the scene of the crime has my client's right hand fingerprints on its handle. Despite the fact that this witness just testified that Sasuke was swinging it with both hands.
Like a graceful swatter, specifically. Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So did Little Tyke misremember? Little Tyke.
Little
It was
tyke.
a chaotic situation where he feared for his life. The court should hardly expect him to have kept track of such an inconsequential detail.
Have you already forgotten my magnanimous powers of recollection? I had to hesitate. I was like, how the fuck do I say that word?
Nope, I fully believe that was Makoto not knowing how to say it. It was a choice. It was an acting choice.
Yeah. Playing into it.
Her tactics from earlier backfired.
I'll have you know I can recite all my subordinates' birthdays down to the hour.
That's a weird thing to brag about.
Weird flex, bro.
Yeah.
Write them all down so I can calculate their moon signs later. She's enjoying herself.
It doesn't matter whether the witness is mistaken about Sasuke's grip, Your Honor, because we have a much bigger issue to address. Why this sword has only my client's fingerprints on it.
Oh.
She's like, my fingerprints were on there too.
There was another person. Plot twist, it was me.
What?
Did like one of them pick up the katana when he was unconscious? Is that what she's going for?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. And so like obviously the cop wiped it down before framing Sasuke. Because Sasuke unconscious couldn't have brought his blade with him.
Yeah, I'm curious how
That's
Morgan's
the only thing.
I'm curious how Morgan's gonna approach this.
Yeah, it's all I can think of.
Makoto testifies that Sasuke wielded this katana in his defense. An act of bravery that ended with my client face down on the floor of Crane Tower. He later woke up held captive in the lower wards. I'll state the obvious here and say, while he was unconscious, he was moved. And so the sword we have in the record must have also been handled by...
Well, I don't...
What would be Creek?
Yeah, clearly it was the child.
Yeah, Makoto picked it up.
Or the cop who wasn't even there in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess Creek, yeah.
So it should have Creek's fingerprints on it because he would have picked up the sword when they moved.
As the leader.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, any of them really, but like one of them would have picked it
well,
up.
he's probably the next person to be able to be trusted. Like, he's the leader, because the only other person he'd probably trust with it is the one probably carrying Sasuke, which is Tank.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But, yeah, they would have had to pick it up if they took it with them when they kidnapped him. So.
Right.
Oh, wait. I have to... Oh.
Ooh.
I have to drag it. I didn't realize. Oh, wait,
No,
wait,
you're
wait.
fine.
Should we raise?
I mean, I will be shocked if it's anyone else. So I guess if we're to raise, I would be confused as to why it's not right.
Our poor victim, Creek, of course. Poor Creek.
What do you mean?
Sasuke was knocked unconscious at Crane Tower. That means that someone else must have brought his sword down to the lower wards. And the only people who had the opportunity to do so would have been his captors.
You mean his victims?
Okay, well that was later, though. They were his captors first.
Yep.
Withdrawn.
Because she already knew. Interesting, that was a note, though.
The defense is forgetting a fairly simple fact, Your Honor. There's more than one way to hold a sword.
Who the fuck is holding it by the blade, Emma?
No, you're reaching.
Oh, worm?
Reaching.
Reaching. The defense is reaching, Your Honor. Or offense? Wait, which one? Not offense. Wait. Wait, what is it? Defense
The
and...
prosecution?
Prosecution, thank you. You went to sports terms. What the fuck?
In case the defense needs it clarified, Creek could have simply held the sword by its scabbard.
It wasn't
It
in
wasn't
the scabbard.
sheathed. Yeah, he pushed Makoto back with the scabbard.
Well, and not only that, but if he's using the sword, he didn't sheath it when he was...
Yeah.
Like, if they got the needles in him and he passed out, he wouldn't have sheathed it.
Yeah.
Unless he was worried he was going to fall
lawyer.
on it or something, but I think it's...
Yeah.
First of all, he couldn't because he didn't have the scabbard, as far as we know, because he pushed Makoto with it. But even if he had it, I think it's unlikely that he would have been able to sheath it.
Yeah.
No, fuck off, Emma.
What was this? Creek could have held it by the scabbard.
No. He couldn't have. So we want to raise.
Yeah, I don't think he could. No.
That's not possible, Your Honor. Makoto has already testified that Sasuke left the sword scabbard with him when he thrust him back into the elevator.
Your root sheath was thrust into my arms, pushing me back into the elevator, and I landed on my
But
rear.
But
I see. And since a cursed sword can't be resheathed until it's tasted blood...
a cursed sword?
Huh?
Yes, Your Honor. Very well said. We would have found the scabbard at the Blue Blood's den if Creek or his men had taken it with them. Instead, I imagine Makoto took it home.
You think he took key evidence from his own assault and kept it from the police?
I don't think he would have thought it was evidence.
Yeah.
Of course I did. As if I would trust my officers of the law.
Fair. Valid, Makoto. Wow, I'm agreeing with a fetus.
Yeah.
As if I would trust officers of the law to properly handle my family heirloom as precious as yours sheath.
Impressive insight, Adonai. But what does this actually mean? Is there some mistake with how the evidence was handled?
There's no mistakes here. This was all done with intention. The intention to frame my client. Oh, Morgan. By putting his fingerprints onto that sword after the real culprit had already handled it.
Not the stonks.
What a load of
What a load of
bullshit.
bullshit. And I literally, before that line came up, I was gonna joke that, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild. Though it does make a certain kind of sense.
Because it's the truth. I did wipe that katana's handle down after removing it from Trey's throat. Sasuke just happened to be foolish enough to pick it up himself afterwards. It's frustrating having to keep all my best cards up my sleeve this time around.
But also, Morgan, someone else wiped it down too.
Yeah, because his fingerprints
wearing
weren't on
gloves.
them. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she wiped it, so I guess
Yeah.
that's why.
But still, like, he didn't do the stabbing.
Right,
So,
exactly.
like,
So someone
there's
else.
gotta be another person.
Right. But the look on Emma's face when I do get to toss them out is.
Oh, no.
The
Oh,
people
God.
are more than ready to counter, if it pleases the court.
What is this song?
Emma got a
What
new
the-
song.
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
The defense has made an admirable effort to barrel ahead with this theory. Admirable, but predictable. With a foundation this week, charging ahead and hoping the court won't notice is the only option. Let us speak of the facts. This Creek character led a targeted ambush on the heir to House Ikaria, knowing he'd be guarded by a full security team. The Blue Bloods successfully sabotaged and intercepted Makoto's elevator at the precise floor they wanted. Meaning they knew exactly where he'd be and when. And they brought with them drugs capable of disabling a veteran with military-grade mods. Planning and attention to detail may be foreign concepts to the defense, but they should at least be able to recognize them. So is the defense seriously suggesting that after all that preparation, Creek's pod wouldn't bother to wear gloves?
They didn't.
I'm glad you asked so nicely. Well, Creek's fingerprints are on the needle guns, so there's proof
so
that
he wasn't wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just straight up it.
it's got to be that
Yeah.
because there isn't anything else.
Yeah.
So, is this a drag and drop situation?
I think on which one? So gloves.
Oh, that's the
Probably.
only one. That's. Oh wait, no, it's not. Wait, is it only this one? Yeah, I think it is only that one. But yeah,
Okay.
we don't need to speculate about whether they wore gloves or not. Not when we have Creek's fingerprints on a weapon recovered from the crime scene.
That is.
A pretty good point, actually. Guess these guys were sloppier than we thought.
Those blackguards were barefaced when they attacked us. Idiots. As if there wouldn't be repercussions for their actions. The least they could have done was disguise themselves.
Strike that from the record, Your Honor. Along with any future comments that suggest the Ikaria would want revenge against these victims.
I was only speaking a plain truth.
Creek was their leader, correct? If even Creek wasn't wearing gloves, it's hard to imagine that none of them got their prints onto Yoru. Unless the sword was, indeed, wiped down at some point afterwards.
Like right around the time the true culprit was looking for Sasuke to take the fall. Me, the true culprit, me.
Yeah, totally me.
I.
It's a spicy theory.
It's just that, Your Honor. A theory. A far-fetched, unstable theory that stacks presuppositions upon each other. Like a flapjack chef substituting quantity for quality.
Rude.
Insulted.
I'll rephrase. This inconsistency is easily answered without jumping through the defense's absurdly arranged hoops.
These are not absurdly arranged. These
Nope.
are accurately arranged.
That's a little better.
We already know that the Blue Bloods had successfully taken down the Ikaria's head of security.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know that they went out of their way to take the defendant captive despite him not being their original target.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, as the defense has belabored, we know that they decided to take a useless piece of steel with them from the scene of their crime.
Useless.
Didn't Creek describe it as like a prize? I think he was just like, this is a cool sword, so he took it.
Yeah, definitely.
If we ask why, the answer is obvious. Because orcas are superstitious and immature. They wanted a trophy. And where is there to do with a trophy? Where? No, what is there to do with a trophy? Other than polish it?
The cloth from Creek's desk. I knew she flagged it in the arcs for some reason, but she'd thought this many steps ahead?
The defense is correct. The sword was wiped down before Sasuke took it up as his murder weapon. By the very same victims he'd go on to claim with it.
Alright.
That is a completely logical explanation, damn it.
How do we respond to that, Adonai?
We
Check? Like checkmate?
don't. I can't. It makes perfect sense.
So, does that mean that she's described what actually happened?
Not at all. I wiped off the sword myself because my prints were on it. Same as I wiped my prints off of every other. Right. If I can't find fault with Emma's conclusion, I need to find fault with the logic that led her there.
I see. And how do you do that?
By adjusting my aim. As the people say, Your Honor, no one's fingerprints but my client's are on the murder weapon. That only makes sense if he's guilty or being framed.
And there's no evidence to suggest that he's been framed, because his captors had valid reasons for wiping off the sword.
That's true. They did have good reason to wipe off the sword. But that's not the murder weapon I'm referring to.
Wait, what was that? That why they would have good reason?
Hold on. The murder weapon was polished as a trophy. Okay, so she's arguing it was a trophy and that's why they polished it.
Would polish it.
We're trying to say, no, he was framed, so that's why they wiped it down.
Right. I guess they wouldn't wipe that down, though, because it's not a trophy. Partials, but only prints are Sasuke's left hand. Well, that's saying they wipe everything. Because obviously Tank has handled that gun, so it's not just because it's a trophy if we play that card.
Oh, so you're saying because it's Tank's gun and Tank's prints aren't on it, that's proof?
Yeah. Well,
I think that's the only thing
if we
I
play
can...
that card, that's what I think we'd be arguing. Is that they wipe down not just trophies, but everything.
Because it was us, but we're not saying that part.
I'm a little worried about the partial prints.
That I had that thought too of like, could we use that to say, well, we don't know? I don't.
Yeah. Because like, was that a trophy? And it wasn't completely
bat?
wiped down, but we don't know it wasn't a trophy. Whereas we know
Sorry.
that's not a trophy. You're fine.
Sorry. I don't know if Morgan would... Wait. Hold on. Let me look
Also,
and
it's
see...
max. So
Let me
I'm, like,
see what it
anxious.
says. Yeah, we can always adjust. I want to see if it says anything about the gun.
Short barrel maglev.
Registered to Tanks. Okay, so it is registered to him, so we know it wasn't a trophy. I didn't know if we could argue that.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's
the
fair.
Winter Festival.
Eco, thank you for the subscription for 105 months. Eco's on a 105-month streak and
Hell
says,
yeah.
objection. Objection. Okay.
Objection.
105 months. 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 1 So this is okay. So it was registered to Tanks, found on Sasuke. Fingerprint analysis shows Sasuke gripped it in his left hand, which I don't understand because his hand was broken.
Yeah.
No one else's fingerprints are present. And I mean, obviously, like, we left the gun.
Right, we were framing.
But
they don't know that.
No, you're fine, Eco. Modified to an illegal extent, slugs fire detonate after penetrating their target, increasing lethality. No digital traces from when or where it was fired.
And also, good luck lurking.
This is for you.
Antex, thank you for the resub for 21 months. Antex is on a 21-month streak. Hope you enjoy your emotes.
Hell yeah. Emotes.
I don't, that's the only thing I can think of is what you said, Kat, is that there's no prints on Tank's gun. So you could argue that they wiped his gun, and I mean, we technically
I just don't know how that helps us.
Well, we could argue that someone's, you know, that he's being framed, right? So they wiped off because Sasuke's prints are on the gun, which is what happened because that's what Morgan wiped her prints.
Oh, that's true. So it's kind of proving everything's been wiped. So why would they do that if someone wasn't the one wiping them? It wouldn't be for polishing. Oh, that makes sense. I was almost there. I just didn't know why I was there.
Yeah, so I think your line of thinking was correct because his fingerprints are not on this. This is Creek's.
Our brain cells combined.
There are no prints on, like, you can't see the bat's prints anyway, and so yeah. So I think it's this one for that reason, to just say they wiped off everyone's prints and they're trying to frame Sasuke.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if she's gonna come back and say, well, his left hand was broken. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I have to put it on Yoru, I guess. You didn't put it on the right one. Okay. This gun is the murder weapon I'm referring to.
What?
Oh, is she mad? She mad? She big mad? The police are confident that this Magus is the gun that was used to kill Tanks and Creek.
Your client was arrested with it on his person, and it has your client's prints on it.
Oh, maybe that's how we're gonna prove that he's being framed because it's his left hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know this is what happened because Morgan did it, but
yeah.
But it was owned by Tanks.
The record shows that Sasuke's are the only fingerprints on that doohickey.
On that doohickey?
What so perfect terminology. No notes. So that means this Tanks guy had never laid a finger on his own gun?
It's entirely possible that Tanks simply liked to polish his gun too.
Sir, ma'am, don't talk about people polishing their guns. Bonk. Phrasing. Okay. 80, stop taking words out of my mouth, I swear to God.
So he was polishing it right up until the moment his captor grabbed it and used it against him.
Of all the people I want to vibe with, it's not 80. More phrasing.
Was it before or after his internal bleeding that my client took the gun off Tanks without him even laying a finger on it first? Before or after being tortured that he got the gun with no struggle?
They could have wrestled over the gun while it was out of reach.
Tanks had no injuries besides the hole in his chest. How'd he get into a struggle and not get so much as a scratch?
The likelihood of that scenario
would seem to come down to the order in which each individual died, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then perhaps we ought to hear some more detailed testimony about that.
Of course.
The defense has no more questions for this witness, Your Honor. We don't object.
Hold on. What are you saying?
Okie dokie then. Closing the connection.
I said wait. It's Sasuke.
Bye.
Oh. Makoto seemed to be in good spirits, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he was his usual irreproachable self. So how can you find something about that to be depressed over?
I'm ashamed that he testified at all. His appearance here runs the risk of sullying the house's visage with my mistakes.
Well, he couldn't exactly slip the subpoena by claiming he had homework to do.
You of all people should understand that the house doesn't have to appear in court if it truly doesn't want to. A fine levied on your accounts is always preferable to a smudge staining your reputation. Means Makoto wanted to be there. But he did testify. Yes, and he no doubt went directly against one or more family elders to do so. He should not be incurring debts for my sake.
Hold on a second.
Harry?
Why the hell did you take your shoes off?
Why the hell you dressed like a chicken?
I love polishing my gun so much. Rubbing down that shaft gives me so much pleasure it makes me want to shoot it. So no surprise Tanks would polish his gun too. Katana 1 gasm, katana 1 jail, katana 1 gasm.
Splinter,
Hell yeah!
everyone, put the jail emote at Splinter, please. Deserved. For making text-to-speech lewd.
I missed whatever text-to-speech
Bonk,
said.
Splinter! Thank you, Splinter, for the $25 tip. Let me know which jar you'd like to put that in. Thank you so much. Redeemed Kita's forgiveness. Thank you. It reminds me of the polishing his spear convo in Dragon Age Origins. I don't know if we got that far in Dragon Age. Kat, did you say this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So he put himself at a disadvantage for you. Do you think Makoto would want you to apologize?
Yellow, I got you. Thank you, Splinter.
Or do you think he'd want you to thank him? He's young. He doesn't know what he wants yet.
He's but a fetus.
He is but a fetus, a singular cell.
Just one.
One. He hasn't grown more than that.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay, well, that was our first witness. Oh,
I
we
know.
haven't seen her
oh.
in a minute.
Let's see if I can remember her voice. Fuck.
She's also wearing a raincoat, sort of.
She is.
It looks like
I wonder.
like Miller's anyway.
Aesthetic. Yeah, just a bit more see-through, whereas his was a little more transparent. I don't think it was completely opaque, though. All right. Yumi Sato, medical examiner. Yumi. Sarah.
Like whispering at each
Hello.
other.
Dr. Sato, we're very grateful for your work sorting through the large number of reports related to this case.
Emma's like, there were 5 corpses you had to look at.
Yeah. Phew, yeah. 5 bodies, all high priority. Had my head underwater for a good while there. I don't remember her voice. I'm trying my best. Sorry for anyone who likes consistency.
We'd prefer not to tax you with repeating every grisly detail. But if you could, would you please walk the court through the time of death for each victim and the manner in which they were determined?
Right. From the top, Anchor Tan, aka Tanks, had a mishmash of street legal and chop shop mods along his forearms. None of them were particularly up to date, but they were all working, and they did monitor his heart rate. Tank's heart stopped at 9:44 p.m. The cause of death was...
Boom.
The slug had a hollow design, intended to shatter inside the target. There's no mistaking that he was killed by his own gun, the Mag US from a distance of 1 to 2 meters. Next up is Sungmin Tray Trench. He also had relatively low-end mods installed, and they'd show his heart stopping at 9:45 p.m.
Dang, Morgan. That's 1 minute apart.
Yep. He died from exsanguination, blood loss resulting from a laceration across his neck by a sharp metal blade.
Well, that wasn't the only injury his body sustained, though, was it?
No, it was not. Posthumously, his skull was...
Saw no
evil. Heavens Miller Smiles received a puncture wound straight through his jugular vein. Then the blade was withdrawn, exacerbating blood loss, and he was likely unconscious within seconds of falling to the ground.
There you go.
Miller had mods, but had evidently gone to great lengths to remove all monitoring tech from them. And he was not found with any electronics on his person. Using purely medical means, I narrowed his time of death down to a window of 10 minutes between 10:40 and 10:50. Hello, where's 10 coming?
I think it's
'cause of
coming
10
from
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Between 9:40 and 9:50 p.m.
Even though I killed him third and he was the second to die.
That brings us to Creek.
Yes, like Tank's Lakers Creek Christoph was shot once with a hollow slug from a distance of 1 to 2 meters. However, the slug penetrated just beneath their solar plexus and failed to completely shatter when it impacted a low-end spinal brace mod. As a result, Creek didn't die immediately. It is my medical opinion that Creek would have slowly bled out over the course of about 5 minutes.
That's rough.
Their mod did not have biomonitoring capabilities. So like with Miller, I've done what I can to narrow down the time of death to a 10-minute window between 9:40 and 9:50 p.m.
So he was barely modded and he stayed conscious that whole time anyway?
You did do his stomach. But we do have one other context clue to work with. This datapad was found very close to Creek's body, and technicians confirmed that it requires Creek's fingerprints for most functions. That means it's unlikely that anyone else would have been able to manipulate it. And we found that the last action taken on it was an attempted dark card transaction that failed at 9:44 p.m.
What could cause a dark card transaction to fail?
Either they hit cancel, or the card itself was jostled, interrupting the scan.
As if the datapad was suddenly dropped.
Speculation?
How much qualification does one need to understand that card readers can be finicky, Your Honor?
True enough. Chip, swipe, pin, tap. Just let me buy the damn balloon, animal, you clown.
I say that every day.
What? Just a normal day for me.
Yeah.
So, taking that digital evidence into account,
Creek must have been shot almost at the exact time as Tank's.
thank you. There's one more body you examined for this case, yes?
Officer Tariq Chopin. You have to keep actively reminding me how to pronounce that last name.
I was wondering about this because his time of death is going to be a little bit later than the others. So I wonder, like...
How much?
Yeah, and also, like, why wouldn't... Okay, so if Sasuke did commit all of these murders, why would he stick around?
Good question.
Like, why wouldn't he try to get out of there? You know what I mean?
Right.
If he had
wouldn't
done
stick
it.
around. So if it's been a lot of time, what the fuck? What were you doing, bro?
Even 15 minutes. You would think that,
Yeah.
like, there would have been some evidence of him trying to escape.
Yeah. I didn't need to determine his time of death. As a patrol officer, he had a standard suite of police-issued biomonitors. So we know that Officer Chopin's heart stopped at 10:14:04 p.m. That is a half hour.
Yeah. 25 minutes.
I guess some of them could have died at 9:50. But yeah, like a lot of them were at 9:44, 9:45. Like,
Mm-hmm. That's plenty.
That's a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, why would he stay there?
Yeah, there's no reason.
Triggering an automatic 10999 alert. Officer down.
Lighting up that crime scene like a firecracker and ensuring every cop in the city would come running, royally pissed and safety is off.
Chopin was impaled through his back by a long, thin blade. It severed his aorta, and as a result, he died instantly.
To summarize then, we could conclude that Tank's gun was taken from him before 9:44 p.m. He and Creek were then shot with it.
So, had a thought. Because, or we assume the other officer did this. Because we don't really know of anyone else who was there. I mean, it's possible there could have been someone else, but we're assuming it was the other officer. It would make sense that he would use the sword because his gun would have tags on it.
Yeah, and could be traced back. So he probably saw his opportunity and went,
yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And the bat was broken. And, like, he
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have wanted to use... Well, Sasuke had the other gun, so...
Right.
He might have just seen that and been like, oh. Did you say the full thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their attacker, out of ammunition, took up a sword and stabbed Miller in the throat before slicing into Trey's neck.
What? Oh, never mind.
This individual then proceeded to posthumously crush Trey's skull by striking it so hard that they shattered a baseball bat.
Unmodded Morgan. Let's fucking go.
As Creek
as far as
bled-
we know.
I'm assuming she's unmodded. Yeah.
As Creek bled to death on the other side of the room. Finally, when Officer Chopin entered the scene, they stabbed him in the back.
That was 25 minutes later.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me he just sat there and waited?
Yep.
That doesn't
That'd
make any sense.
Ridiculous.
Before finally being apprehended by Officer Rogers.
No.
That's all correct, as far as we understand it.
So
now
now,
Rockford's put
Hey,
together a
hey,
timeline.
hey, that's Morgan.
Sorry. It's because
It's
she's
fine.
standing there, so I thought it was her.
It's fine.
My bad.
So now Rockford's put together a timeline.
It's probably helpful for the jury, putting it all in chronological order. But have we actually learned anything new about the culprit's actions?
We have. Emma brought her on the stand to establish the culprits. I would think
Really, the ending time, not the starting.
well,
time.
I was thinking more of the methodology
Yeah,
of like
that'd be
how
the next-
everybody died. But
Yeah.
I mean, but Sarah says it's helpful to put it all in chronological order, and Morgan references the timeline. So it's probably more about the time. Okay, what does she
I
start
guess it's just
with?
it's more about the ending time. That's why I'm confused.
Well, we're focused on the ending time anyway.
That's true. We might be too far ahead.
Hey, Badman, how's it going?
Hello.
mean, she talked a lot.
Yeah.
She talked so much. Okay, so she starts here. Time of death for each victim and the manner in which they were determined. So yeah, I think it is more about the time. None of them were particularly up to date. They were all working. This month. Part stopped at 9:44.
Maybe us saying starting time will lead to ending time.
You think it's okay? Starting
Methodology makes more sense to me, but if you think it's more focused on time,
well, it's just
that's
because
how I would think it was connecting.
Well, it's because these two are kind of close.
Yeah.
And also,
It's just it never mentions position, does it?
Yeah, when they mean position, like they mean physical position of.
Because the only time they've mentioned
starting?
that was when it was from behind for the cop, but that's not starting position.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Miss Manga Chick.
Yeah, have a good night. Take care of yourself.
It is going well so far. Have we actually learned anything new about the culprit's actions? See, that makes me think it's not methodology, because...
Yeah.
And Morgan's reference is saying, like, oh, she put together a timeline, and Sarah says probably helpful putting it all in chronological order.
Yeah.
And we brought her on the stand to establish the culprits. I don't know. What do you think? What do you want to go with?
I think either methodology or starting time. I have no... Like, they don't mention starting position at all. Methodology makes more sense, but they do keep heavily implying time. So it's like...
Do you
we might
want
be too...
What do you feel more drawn to in this moment?
I don't... I'm bad at it. I don't feel like I'm drawn to either of them because it's not... I thought we were just going to say the gap between the fourth and fifth victim. Like, I just think that's the most obvious thing. So it's hard for my brain to think of what it wants me to think of.
I think we're too far ahead.
Yeah.
It's about getting to that question.
I know. So I guess time would be the way. Probably, because it's all about time.
She wanted to establish the starting time of all the murders.
Wasn't that pretty obvious just from one autopsy?
I mean,
Tanks died first, and his mods confirmed it.
Yeah, but she was putting together a timeline of events.
But didn't she also... Well, I guess that's not starting time. I was going to say, didn't she also point out that one of them died second, but really third? Or
Morgan
third, but
pointed
really
that
second?
out.
Yeah, so...
I don't... Okay. Well,
No,
yes, but the fact that Tanks and Creek died first combined with where their shooter stood. Oh, that's... So it was a position then? Because of that?
God damn it.
Okay.
I guess.
Tells us in what part of the room the culprit must have started their killing spree.
The one thing I ruled out because it doesn't mention positions. I can't read Morgan's mind.
Okay.
Damn.
How is
Correct.
that? I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to be important.
I have no idea.
Correct, because Creek and Tanks died first, and they were both shot from within 1 to 2 meters. We know that the culprit must have started taking action right by the desk.
And not by the door to the holding room. Oh, so are they trying... Is Morgan trying to say, like, it wasn't Sasuke because he would have started... Like, he would have come out of the room?
Yeah, the holding room.
Like, why would he have gone
But
around to the front? I
why-
don't know.
Emma seems on to, like,
Mhm.
agreeing, which is weird.
Yeah, I
So
don't
it's
know
not
what the
in
angle
Emma's
is here.
Indeed.
So the likelihood that my client broke out from there...
Is not very high at all.
Okay, so I wonder if Emma's going to argue that he was brought out or something. and
No.
then didn't start from the holding room?
Maybe.
Check. Yes.
An abundance of DNA evidence establishes that the defendant was indeed held in the other room. But clearly, he didn't remain there.
Mm-hmm.
His captors must have taken him out to question him in the main room.
Why would they do that when all their torture tools are
Yeah.
in the other room?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
And dragged him in front of the desk where Tank's gun would be within reach.
All right,
You're the one who's reaching.
You have evidence to the contrary.
do you have evidence to the not contrary?
A better explanation for how he got out of where he was being held.
Can't exactly propose that the real killer set him free as a scapegoat. The forensics
could.
are clear. My client was gagged and bound in that room.
But clearly they had to cut him loose to question him. A mistake that ended up costing them their lives.
Do you think that's true, Sasuke? I'm not positive, of course. But my body is telling me that I was held in that room from the time I woke up until I got myself free. But my body...
Emma's theory about the Blue Bloods being dumb enough to let Sasuke near a gun isn't perfect, but it's still a theory. I don't have jack shit to counter with because not even Sasuke knows how I let him out.
If the defense has no objections.
No, I
Then
still
they'll
want to...
just-
The timing
The
between
time.
their deaths and the cop is important.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're
Then they'll just...
getting there yet, but it's important.
Yeah. I'm assuming it'll be like the second or third time we get to the room.
Maybe.
Then they'll just have to take this L and meekly move on to their cross-examination.
Rude.
Adonai, that made you sound very feeble.
Rude. You've developed a habit of only using we when I'm winning. Fix it.
Damn. That made us sound very feeble? Why do I have to get roped in?
Emma's already established a timeline and an order of events. I could pick at the details, but she's close enough to the truth already. I know the truth firsthand about every death except Chopin. In his case, Emma and I are on even footing. So what's my advantage? What do I know that everyone else is mistaken about?
I don't think it's going for what we want it to, so I don't...
Maybe not yet.
Have they mislabeled something? I can't think of something that they would have said, oh, they died by this, and they were wrong.
Let's look. Oh, God. Okay, hold on. Okay, Chopin's autopsy, summary of medical examiner Sato's findings. Penetrative cardiac stab wound, posterior. Death was instantaneous. That makes it sound like he got stabbed in the ass. His posterior. But no, cardiac stab wound. Externally mounted by bio monitor. Blah, blah, blah. Impaled from behind with a large blade instrument, approximately 2 to 3 centimeters thick. Wound shows unusual pattern of aggravation, as if blade was jostled within the wound. Cavity post-mortem. I don't know why that is a thing. That'll probably come into play.
Because it's... I feel like that shows that he had feelings. And there's no reason
so you think it was
that Sasuke
emotional?
would... Yeah.
So you think it was like, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Sasuke has no reason.
No. Okay.
dig in the wound.
Creek's autopsy. Severe blood loss and hemorrhaging following the detonation of a mag rail slug inside the subject's torso. Subject was shot from close range, 1 to 2 meters, had a modded spinal brace, likely relatively low cost, low tech, corrective measure for a childhood injury or growth defect. Said spinal brace prevented the slug from shattering completely, Slightly prolonging the subject's life in exchange for multiplying damage to internal organs several fold. Subject's childhood medical records indicate DT3, but no signs of disease seem to exist at this time. No metformin in bloodstream. Most likely subject recovered due to natural robustness. Okay. So... Wait. Hold on a second. Is there... Okay, I wanted to make sure there was no, like, dialogue or anything to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, Miller's autopsy. Single stab wound to the carotid artery leading to massive blood loss. Loss of consciousness would have occurred momentarily after the blade's withdrawal. Subject stabbed in the neck. Approximately 2 to 3 centimeters thick puncture wound. Blood on subject's hands suggests they attempted to staunch their bleeding or possibly even remove the weapon. No other injuries. Analysis of subject's mods indicate their self-defense mechanisms were activated shortly prior to death. Combined with the location of the stab wound, subject most likely faced their attacker and attempted to fight back. Okay. Tank's mag rail slug detonated beside the subject's heart, killing them instantly. Okay, well that's pretty... So it says 944. Well... Oh, it doesn't have his time.
Yeah, because his is kind of unknown. Like, I think she had an ETA of 40 to 50.
Right. Shit. Trays. Severe blood loss following lacerations to the throat and neck.
Lacerations. We didn't use the sword on him.
That's what I was wondering, because I was like, wait, didn't she only use the sword on one person?
Is Trey's blood on it, though? Wait, I thought Trey was the one that she did cut. Wait.
There's too many people here. Too many murders.
So I was getting confused. I'm like, is Miller his legal name? I forgot. But no, Trey, I thought
Miller
Trey's
is
the
the
one with
raincoat.
the eyes.
Miller is the raincoat one.
Okay. That's not who got Katana. The one who got Katana was the one with the altered eyes, because then she smashed
And then
his
she
face
took
with
the bat.
Yeah. So he's the one with the katana.
Raincoat. So, well, where's Miller?
Although
Single
I think Miller's
stab
blood
wound?
might be on it
Yeah.
because
Yeah, there were like 3 people.
but
I think
not
there were
because she killed him with it.
right, because there were 3 people's blood on
Miller,
Okay, let's
Trey,
look
and
at the
Chopin.
sword.
So I guess they're assuming.
Oh.
But wait, why would we want to bring up?
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, I'll chat. But why would we
did you
want
see?
to bring up that? Because that feels like that immediately puts us at risk, especially because we know it's missing.
Okay, let's see what's Morgan says. Another murder weapon I had to wipe prints off before taking my leave. It was indulgent trying to take Trey's head off. Wasn't my only
Yes,
indulgence either. I must have gotten Miller's blood on the blade tip
Yes.
when I dragged it across the floor.
But that's not
So
how
she
he was
killed
killed.
Trey with the sword, did not kill Miller with the sword.
Yeah.
How did she kill Miller? Was that with
Well,
the
I
gun?
did look at chat, so I will answer it if you. I forgore that was a thing. That's the problem of like weeks later.
Oh, you mean her
I
knife?
totally forgot her knife.
But
yeah,
her knife
'cause
is
it's missing. But so that puts us at risk if we bring it up. But it is a weapon that hasn't been brought forward.
Okay,
because
so
they
they
just are assuming it's the katana.
Right. They were assuming the stab was from the sword.
Right.
Okay, that makes
I
sense now
totally
because I
forgot
was
the
like,
knife
she
existed.
definitely didn't kill 2 people with the sword, but I couldn't remember how she
Right.
killed the other one.
I couldn't remember the knife at all.
I remembered it. I just didn't think it was going to come up for a while. I forgot that that's how she killed.
Yeah, same.
I mean, we know that, and she is asking, like, what information do we have that they don't have?
Right.
So,
It would be weapons, because I think it's what?
it's not
Weapons.
well, I think I mean, you could
Cause of
argue
death.
cause of death, although it would still be a stab with the knife.
Yeah.
So I would say weapon. I don't know how she's gonna play this though.
Yeah, I don't either.
Unless there's some way, because the steel is chipped. I don't know if that's gonna come into play, or how deep
Yeah.
the wound was. I don't know. But that's the only thing I've got.
Yeah.
I don't think it's time. I think the time is pretty correct. I mean, she's, even for some of the deaths, she was like, oh, well, it was in this time frame. And I think that's correct. And the body cam or the bio monitor would be correct for the cop. So I don't think that's wrong.
Right.
It has, I think it has to be the murder weapon. Do you agree?
Yeah. What were the options again?
Causes of death,
timing,
and murder weapons. Yeah, I definitely don't think it was
Yeah,
timing.
I think either causes of death or murder weapons. I just don't know which one's easier to play. Like, I don't know if we want to say that it's a knife, but causes of death.
I just don't know how we're gonna prove either of those without Morgan implicating herself.
Yeah. But that is something Morgan knows that they don't.
Yeah, and that's what she's asking
what she
about.
wants to lean into.
Right.
Maybe she'll just ask a question.
Maybe. Single stab wound to the carotid artery, leading massive blood loss. Okay. Oh, wait, here. Subject was stabbed in the neck with a bladed instrument approximately 2 to 3 centimeters thick. Puncture wound is approximately 13 centimeters deep. So
he took Morgan's knife and stabbed him with it, but then used the sword to frame Sasuke. So the cop was probably not killed with the sword.
Oh, you think the cop wasn't killed with the sword, but the sword wasn't the sword in him when they found him?
Yeah, because of I think that's how he framed Sasuke.
Oh, so you're saying he stabbed him with Morgan's knife?
Yeah, and that's why the knife's missing, because the cop took it, because he's like, I killed him with this.
Okay.
And that
you might be right, because it is missing.
And so
I'm wondering if we're gonna have to look at like how deep the puncture wound was.
Yeah.
And that's probably gonna be important. Okay, so we're going with murder weapon then?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Right. Oh, I thought she was gonna say this out loud. She's thinking this to herself.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess.
Because I was like, Morgan, like, I don't know.
That's why I said, is she gonna like ask a question to clarify?
Yeah.
How do they know for sure? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But
all right. Right. The murder weapons. Everyone thinks Miller was stabbed in the neck by the katana. I'm the only one who knows my knife was there. There's got to be a way I can use that information to my advantage here without revealing that I have it or how I got it. I'm walking a razor's edge here. At least it's thematically appropriate.
She likes it.
Yeah, she does. The defense is ready to begin our cross-examination, Your Honor. See, I thought Morgan was going to say something that might, you know what I mean? So I was hesitant with like, just in case she was going to say something about the knife. But okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Sato, you were asked to examine all 5 bodies. Did you visit the crime scene?
I did not. Have not. Photos and other ARCs data were provided to me to aid in my examination.
Surely the defense isn't objecting to a little virtual work.
Of course not. After all, had anything been added or removed from the crime scenes, the ARCs would show it. Squeagle. There's no fooling it once it's been set up. I would say blade wounds.
Blade wounds.
Because
I think gunshot wounds is going to hurt us, but blade wounds and Chopin's cause of death are going to be like, one's better than the other, but like they're both going to give us.
Yeah, I don't think we should do this one though, because we haven't really talked about him yet, so I don't.
Yeah.
I think we might want to ask about the blade wounds. Victims Trey and Miller were both attacked with a blade. Exactly how fast did they die?
Trey had his throat slashed, and blood found on his hands suggests that he had time to reach up to his neck in response. But he would have quickly stumbled back and collapsed onto the floor, dead. Miller wouldn't have lost much blood at the moment his neck was punctured. For that kind of wound, the weapon acts as a stopper. But once that stopper was removed, he would have lost consciousness in mere seconds.
And while the blade was still in his neck?
If it was there for more than a second, he too would have reflexively reached up, presumably to try and grab the blade. Oh god.
Is there
iPhone
proof
alarm.
he grabbed the blade?
Oh shit.
I think if we go
Miller,
back...
Is Miller the cop? Or who's
No,
Miller? Fuck.
Chopin is the cop. Miller is the raincoat.
He would have reached up, but I don't know if his prints were on it. I don't remember.
But it was still... It would have been the knife, right?
Right. Unless we want to lean into that's why his blood's on the blade. No, wait, no. We're trying to prove that there's a different weapon.
I mean, we could certainly...
Yeah, I guess we could say
We could
he
press.
would reach up to the blade. Why isn't his fingerprints on the katana?
Yeah, unless it's like, oh, his fingerprints aren't, so you should know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other prints. I mean, we can try.
That's all I can think of. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just...
But see, is this
Being safe
Morgan
about it.
asking, or... Like, is this trying
Good
to tell us,
question.
like, there isn't proof he grabbed the blade, so...
Yeah, I don't know. These ones are always so hard to, like, figure out exactly what their thought process is.
I mean... I guess we can press and see if we can get more info.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any evidence that he tried to grab the razor-sharp katana lodged into his neck?
Yeah. He had his own blood on his right hand, but there were no cuts on it.
Because he grabbed the knife's handle, not a sword's edge.
So it stands to reason that the blade was withdrawn very quickly. Okay. By the time his hands reached up to his neck, it must have been gone.
One of many small inconsistencies with this katana theory I can shine a light on. Will that be enough? Oh, I guess we want to keep going with this.
Yeah, I would assume since it popped up.
Well,
Rude
that,
and
and I mean, we
deceiving
know
if not.
we know it has nothing to do with the gunshot wounds. That's just
Yeah.
not relevant.
Yeah, that's beside.
And I think Chopin, I think it's too early to really start with this because we're kind of focusing on Miller right now.
Yeah, everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. So, katana stab. Stabbing Miller's neck so precisely and so fast, that would be quite the feat of swordsmanship. Morgan's like,
I do say so myself.
I don't know. Sounds like the killer is kind of hot.
Yeah.
Stating a conclusion, Your Honor.
Comments withdrawn, quick as a blade. Have you ever seen a stab wound like the one that killed Miller inflicted by a long blade? And wielded in one hand by a man experiencing heavy blood loss?
No, I can't say that I have. Now, whether that maneuver is impressive or improbable. Well, I'm a doctor, not a fencer.
And Sasuke doesn't own a rapier.
What does it say if we hover? Does the katana? feel
Yeah,
the
we
puncture
should-
wound? Well, we know it doesn't.
Yeah, I think we should press this because
Yeah.
then I guess we're just arguing that there was another blade,
Yeah.
even though that might bite us in the ass later.
It's definitely going to, but I feel like it's definitely scripted.
Yeah. Did you find that the stab wound on Miller's neck fit the sword that the police recovered?
Approximately.
That doesn't sound conclusive.
The entry wound is slightly smaller than I would have expected for such a precise stab. The sword hand must have barely trembled, but it's within tolerable ranges.
Is it?
Furthermore, DNA on the tip of the sword is a match for Miller.
Yeah, but that's because we dragged the
Yeah,
sword.
but we can't say that.
Damn it. Just because I happened to drag it across where his blood had dripped. Well, this is what you get for being theatrical, Morgan.
Yeah, she can't help it.
And of course, there isn't any other implement at the scene that fits the wound better.
Well,
About that. Maybe it's because they fucking took it.
no. Of course there isn't.
So we already did Miller stabbed, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
So
guess
I
we
guess?
could. I guess go here because it's not gunshot wounds. That can't be. It
Yeah.
that doesn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess just ask about this. Could you speak a bit more about the manner of Officer Chopin's death?
Well, to reiterate, his body was found with the katana stuck through his back. It had punctured his heart, killing him. There was massive blood loss at the scene. At least in part because the wound in question was agitated, I suppose I'd say.
Agitated. Is that what she means by like the person moving the sword
wiggle.
around?
Yeah. I think so.
What does agitated mean? I think it's
I
safe
think it's a
to-
fair question.
Yeah. What do you mean by agitated?
Honestly, as though after impalement, the blade was moved around inside the wound.
Owie.
Yeah.
As if it had become stuck and someone was struggling to remove it.
Oh. I guess that could also be it.
So was he trying to remove it to take that as like to take the evidence away from the scene? Like
Yeah,
if he
why
was
did he
trying
have a
to
hard
take,
time pulling it though?
Did it get stuck in? Did it possibly get stuck in? Like if he was
Floor
modded,
mod? Maybe.
or if he had armor or like some kind of protection on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Good question. I don't know.
I don't know. And the only reason I can think to remove it is to get rid of the weapon, but like, so maybe he couldn't, so he wiped his prints off and then
Framed. A boy.
maybe. I don't know. But because like, I think moving it around could also fit what you said earlier, was that like this person was emotional or angry.
Yeah. Like really wanting to kill him with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like, meh.
Yeah, I don't know. London mentioned that Sato found this wound odd, but to hear her specifically say the blade had become stuck, that's interesting. It is interesting. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Sato. I think I can speak for all of us when I say I found that very enlightening. Smile. Blackjack. Hell
Blackjack.
yeah.
Nailed it.
Dr. Sato, you just testified that Officer Chopin was impaled from behind. Did this occur on the spot where his body was found?
Yes, it did. The body shows no signs of being moved.
I'm curious then. God, Morgan.
Yeah.
What was there for the sword to get stuck on? Yeah,
keep
like I didn't
thinking
really
The like light. Sorry.
What were you gonna say?
I keep thinking the light on the pillar behind her is like a hair wispy. Like,
Oh,
coming
yeah.
From her hair. Sorry, continue.
No, I was wondering that too. I kind of thought it got stuck going when he was trying to pull it out, like on
Yeah.
a mod or something. That's the only thing I could think of, but maybe
Would make more
Morgan's
sense.
asking, like, was it stuck on the tip of the sword? Which could explain why the tip was chipped.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I don't know. Uh-huh. Well, if Chopin was in the center of the room, standing upright, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten caught on the air, right?
Yeah, so what did it get stuck on?
It wouldn't have. Did I say I wouldn't have? She was the weapon. Bone, perhaps?
Surely you examined the wound inside and out. Ugh. Did you see marks on his rib cage where the blade had caught?
No, I didn't.
Then it's Morgan. Morgan's expressions are very...
Yeah.
They're good.
She's excited.
She is excited. Then it stands to reason that the blade didn't get caught on anything inside Mr. Chopin. Okay, so didn't get stuck on bone or potentially mods. So it got stuck on something on the outside? Probably the tip of the sword.
Yeah.
But what?
The floor.
The floor.
Okay, well. Yeah, because if it went all the way through him, it was stuck on the floor. Because he got stabbed. That means he was stabbed face down. Face down on the floor. So he was not stabbed standing upright. At least not with the katana, because it was with the fucking knife.
Maybe.
Because he has wounds on his... Didn't say his neck?
No, I think that
Or
was...
something?
No, I think that was someone else.
Oh, maybe that was Miller.
Let's
I
look at
keep
his
getting
autopsy.
Miller and Chopin confused.
No, penetrative cardiac stab wound posterior.
Okay.
Death was instantaneous.
So maybe that's
so was
why...
he bent over?
I don't know. Oh, maybe he was bent over. And then slid down it.
Impaled from behind with large bladed instrument, 2 to 3 centimeters thick.
Mm.
Okay. I love this game's art. This game has great art.
Yeah. It's my fave.
It got caught on the floor.
Pardon.
You need to take greater advantage of the arcs, Counselor Morgan. Learn to flip things on their head.
Do we have anything that would show that?
I don't think so. I'm wondering if it's specifically something to... Either we missed it when looking around, or it's specifically hidden from us.
No.
She being cheeky, though.
It's higher rooms, if need be. If you had, you'd see that there's a clear indentation in the floor that lines up perfectly with Mr. Chopin's wound. How did you think the tip of the sword got chipped?
So that is how it got chipped.
Okay, so we didn't abuse the sword.
You're saying the sword
But
got
doesn't it
stuck
have-
in the floor?
It has chips along it, though.
No, it's
too.
on the tip, I thought.
But it said there are multiple chips, especially the tip. If I remember correctly. Chipped at several points, especially the tip. And I was like, well, Sasuke wouldn't treat a sword like that. So that
No.
means it had to have happened while everyone else was handling it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I could think of is maybe when she tried to cut off Trey's head and didn't quite get it great, but, you know.
That's what the facts are saying. Do you disagree?
What does it say? The sword couldn't have gotten stuck in the floor.
I mean, I don't...
It's dependent, was he standing or not, according to the files.
Yeah, but I don't think we have anything that counteracts this. I don't think we have anything that we could
Yeah.
argue it didn't get stuck in the floor.
Yeah,
You know?
fair.
Because... Yeah, I don't think we have anything that counteracts that. Unless we'd be trying to argue or ask about something else, like if Morgan had a different angle she wanted to try.
Right.
But I don't think we have anything that we can argue with Emma.
Yeah, I don't.
We don't even have the ARC footage. Because I was going
Right.
to look at it, and as far as I know, we don't have it. So, yeah, I guess the sword could have gotten stuck in the floor. We can't argue that it definitively couldn't have been.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree, no. If Chopin was impaled, then fell face first.
It makes perfect sense for the sword to get caught in the floor as he collapsed on top of it.
Oh,
With
okay,
enough force
so
to
maybe
get
he...
stuck, though?
Yeah. So, we're thinking that he was stabbed while he was standing up, and then he, like, fell forward, and then the sword hit the floor. But yeah, hard enough to get stuck?
Yeah.
So we can conclude that after being impaled, Chopin fell over with the sword still in his torso, driving the sword into the ground. Then his attacker aggravated the wound by trying to retrieve the sword from his corpse. Does that sound right? What? Are you asking me? Sort of. Asking the room, I guess.
Well, I believe I can answer. What you're describing makes sense, Dr. Sato, but only up until we consider again the fingerprints on the sword handle. If my client really did impale Tariq Chopin and get his sword stuck doing so, why would he try to retrieve it with only one hand?
Because he had to retrieve it with one hand. You yourself already elucidated that the defendant's left hand was broken when he destroyed the elevator panel in Crane Tower.
His left hand was too damaged for him to even grip a sword? That doesn't square with this piece of evidence.
What else does it have?
Well, the prints on this gun
Left
are his
hand.
left hand.
Yeah, so how can he be doing both? Or what? Oh, I guess they're claiming he shot him. Okay, whatever. What's the third one?
Oh, sorry. It's a little...
No, you're fine. Oh, his injuries.
I
Left
don't-
hand broken. And that's right hand.
I think it has to be this one because that's his showing his left hand prints.
Yeah, so we're like
Like-
his left hand was fine.
Well, it was fine enough, at least.
Yeah, to shoot.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, not that he could, but they don't know that. That makes the most sense, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the other ones don't really, because this is right hand prints.
Which
And this is just saying his
proving her
hand was
point of right
broken,
hand.
so
Right. The other two are just helping her.
yeah.
The Mag-Us.
How could my client's left hand be too damaged to grip his sword, and yet also capable of gripping the Mag-Us?
That oddity is hardly impossible to explain. We've already determined that the Mag-Us was fired twice before the sword was used at all. Firing such a weapon with a broken hand surely rendered his left useless.
Ugh, that's...
It is difficult to wield a sword with a damaged hand, isn't it, Sasuke? Is it when he's modded? Historically, even the loss of a pinky on your non-dominant hand was considered enough to render you relatively defenseless. Is that why Yakuza would offer to cut off fingers as recompense for offenses? That's right, Sarah. In fact,
Cut the chatter and save the history lesson. He had to pull the sword loose with one hand because his left was useless? Looking at all the forensics pulled from the katana, that's... Your Honor, the people claim that my client had to use one hand to retrieve the sword because his other hand was disabled. But does the evidence actually suggest that?
What do you mean?
Forensics performed on the katana found my client's right hand fingerprints on the handle. But what grip are the prints a match for?
Like, how was he gripping the blade?
Hmm.
Let me just give it a quick think here as I meticulously analyze the position of each finger. A normal grip. The grip is normal.
Do you mean to say that the thumb is facing towards the blade, Your Honor?
Well, yeah. But isn't it easier to just say he held it like normal?
If my client only held the sword with his right hand normally, Your Honor, that would mean he held the handle like that even as he tried
Yeah.
to jostle the blade free from the floor it was impaled in.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. You would flip your grip to pull out the sword.
Which is far from impossible.
Yeah, but if you are someone who knows how to use a blade, you wouldn't do that.
But if, Your Honor, the court has questions about exactly how the defendant was positioned when he was found standing above Officer Chopin's corpse, I believe the people's next witness will be able to answer all of them.
That can only mean it's finally time to face off with the arresting officer. Oh, we haven't met this person yet.
Yeah, I don't wanna.
The one who did it?
punch him.
It has to be him, unless
It
it's
has to be.
unless it's a character that we literally have not met yet or interacted with. It has to be him.
Yeah. Chopin's partner. Very well. Then let us summon to the stand. Null name not found.
Oh? What?
What? Is that a family or given name? Sarah.
What?
Yeah, got one big ol' error right here, and it's a classic. Witness not found. Literally.
What?
Why?
Did he...
He running.
Is he running? Or unless it was someone else and they killed him too?
That honestly, plot twist. But I will say it did not plot twist me in the first one, so... Well, it tried to, but I was like, we knew it was her. We've been known. He ain't here.
What?
Well, good job.
He's had
Prosecutor.
hours to get here. What the hell could he possibly be?
Her star witness is a no-show.
Is this good news or bad news?
Like hitting the jackpot on the world's sketchiest slot machine. Feels good, but you get the feeling that the staff is going to make you pay for it.
That idiotic.
Maybe he was too confident. Pay for it when?
Why wouldn't he show up,
Fine.
though?
I'll finish it myself.
Good question.
Right about now.
The only thing I could think of is he was too cocky, thinking it was like an easy win.
Maybe.
Okay, we're back to beats.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's for the best, then, Your Honor. We could save the court the trouble by wrapping up things here and now.
Not really.
The facts are simple, and the defense has failed to refute them. Thus, the people call for summary judgment.
Already?
The defendant is the only one with his prints on the gun. He is the only one with his prints on the katana. He is his own employer testified to this court that he was attacked and captured by 4 of the 5 victims. He was found and arrested standing over the body of a dead cop.
That does not explain the time between their deaths and the
Yeah.
cop's death.
I'm guessing that's just much later.
Maybe.
Because last time I think we were in court, had to take a break.
Yeah.
Like new evidence.
Well, we're gonna
shown,
have to-
and then we had to.
We're going to have to cross-examine him, probably. Unless he was killed by someone else, but
I mean, yeah.
most likely we're going to have to cross-examine him. So we're going to have to, like,
Yeah.
basically convince the judge to keep the case going.
Right.
Before 2 or more officers arrived and secured the scene.
Did they secure it? Oh, they mean after Chopin.
Wait a minute. Hey, I'm trying
Two
to
more
I'm trying to
officers
look at the backlog. Whoa. He was found and arrested standing over the body of a dead cop, but before 2 more officers?
Wait, what?
So there were 3? I thought there was only 2.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's talking about... Oh, okay. She's talking about Reyes
Oh,
in
yeah,
London.
I
Never
was
mind.
wondering that. But that means that
That's
he...
fine.
What?
Okay.
Where's the other guy?
Yeah, where did
What?
Rogers go?
What did his partner do this whole fucking time? Why is no one like, what did he do to stop his partner from getting killed? What did he
So
do
he
to
was
arrest him? Like, what?
He was found and arrested. Okay, so he was found by the partner. How would he have been found? Where was the partner while this was occurring? Like in Emma's description, you know what I mean? What do you mean he was found? Like,
that's
was
what
he
I
on a
mean.
different
Like,
floor?
where is that other cop this whole fucking time?
Right. Okay, and then Reyes and London got there after. Okay,
And why
that makes sense.
Did he
I was
allow
like,
his
wait.
partner to go by himself? Just saying.
Yeah.
If it's like he found him.
The only thing I can think of is that they're gonna say, "Oh, he was on the other floor," or something.
Yeah.
Like,
but
searching.
why? You would be together. That's the whole point of having a partner. He let his
Yeah.
partner down if he decided to do that.
Okay. That must be Reyes in London she's referring to.
As
Okay.
the only living person left at the scene of the crime, there was no one else who could have committed these murders.
There was another person.
She's on a
Your
tear.
missing person.
And I'd be lying if I said it wasn't entertaining. Yeah. What about the guy who didn't testify? Who just, like, left?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
only because she's on tilt. She was thrown off by her witness flaking, and it's caused her to overstep. She just fired off a lot of claims in quick succession, which is the weakest one.
Like,
Where do I
unfortunately,
counterattack?
pointing out that it might be the partner might get the crowd fucking pissed off. But
Well, we don't care about them.
can you save just
Only
'cause we haven't saved them,
suspect? Wait, what did you want?
but- Save. Just because it's been a while. If we
yeah.
can. I don't know if we can.
Yeah. Save.
Didn't want to have to do most of the courtroom. Okay.
Do you think only suspect? She said,
I mean,
what's
I
the
don't think he's the
weakest?
only subject, but
Well, he's not, but... DNA evidence.
I mean, technically, police testimony is weak because they also lied about beating the shit out of him, but they're
also,
not gonna, like,
he's not here,
yeah,
but I don't know because...
Personally, I think only suspects the weakest.
Yeah,
because
because she's saying this definitively. Like, he was the only person who could have done it. And it's like, well, that's not true. And we can prove that. Or at least, I think
Right.
that's probably the...
But also murder weapons because the knife's missing. But they
I don't know if
tried
we
to
wanna...
clear all those. So, like,
Mhm.
it feels like that one's not applicable here.
I think only a suspect, especially because he can't defend himself right now because he's not here.
Right. That's true. He's going to bust through and be like, what? But yeah.
She just claimed that Sasuke is the only one who could have committed these murders. She can't possibly prove that. Yeah, she can't. She can't prove that there wasn't anyone else there that night because I actually was. Yeah, suck it, Emma. I was there.
Yeah.
And unlike her, I can prove the possibility of another party being present without having to reveal their identity. The people are mistaken, Your Honor. My client wasn't the only other person there that night. So what, Morgan's gonna use her knowledge of the fact that she was there to kind of be like, oh, there was probably another person. Even though she knows there was, for sure. You and I are just like, oh, it was the other cop.
Right.
Where I think Morgan is more like, there was
Being more vague.
another person. We just don't know who it was. And there's
we have
evidence
no
to show
evidence to prove that it was his partner other than what else? Yeah, like why would
Classified
he wipe
document.
prints and then proceed? That still bothers me that that's like
Oh, it's gotta be the card,
the dark
right?
card, yeah,
Because
it
there
would've
was a
been
client
either pulled.
Yes.
And it's not his dark card.
No, there was a client potentially, and they don't know.
I'm just worried they'll be like, oh well, he could have been using it, but he was taken,
Who?
so he wouldn't have been able to prepare for that. Sasuke.
Who? Sasuke? No,
But, like-
he wouldn't. I think we could argue against that. That. So it has to be
no,
another
that is
person.
proof. That's not new. Yeah.
Yeah. Found stuck in datapad, wiped of all prints, known only to rich criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the dark card. Which one do we put it on? This one? Okay.
What is that? The dark card you found lodged into Creek's datapad.
Oh, I just realized I left it on max. Well, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's right, the perfect payment option when neither you nor the businesses you frequent like attaching names to faces.
Well,
We've
know
already-
there's evidence, but
We've already discussed that within moments of Creek's death, a transaction was being attempted on his datapad. A transaction made using this dark card, but whatever for? Perhaps some of the handful of illicit substances that were found at the scene of the crime.
oh crap, yeah, almost forgot. These guys were drug dealers.
I like thumbs down.
Down.
And drug dealers get customers, Your Honor. Customers that can be very temperamental when things go south. Yeah, she would know.
Yep.
Are you trying to suggest that these killings were the result of a drug deal gone wrong?
No,
I
just
mean-
that there was another person.
They sort of were.
A drug deal made in person at a blue blood stronghold.
Dark cards require a pass key and a fingerprint. The card would be useless if its owner wasn't physically present for the transaction.
And they would know that.
A transaction that might be abruptly canceled if tensions boiled over.
A potential buyer would likely have been across the desk from Creek.
Which explains the positioning.
Mm-hmm.
The same spot in the room that we've established that the killer must have started their rampage.
Cute idea, counselor, but there's no meat to it.
How?
We know that Creek was using the datapad before he died.
Yeah, and?
And we know that the dark card was processing a transaction at the time. But for some reason, you've made the assumption that he was selling. When the simplest explanation is that he was buying.
He doesn't have access to... It's not his dark card. I guess you can't trace it to anyone.
Using the dark card that he owned.
Well, it was wiped of fingerprints.
Yeah.
The dark card belonged to Creek.
How will you respond?
I don't need to respond with evidence. I just need to point out the flawed evidence she's constructed her argument upon. Oh, okay. We need to pick one of these.
Okay.
Found on Creek's desk, Creek Chopin's fingerprint. Record aborted dark card transaction. Why is Chopin's fingerprint?
That's a very good question.
Huh.
I'm assuming he maybe tried to pull it out when he got there.
Oh,
like-
to look at it
While he was
like
looking
for
at
evidence,
stuff. Yeah.
maybe.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. I
But-
just didn't remember seeing that before, but
No,
maybe
I
just
don't
missed it.
I don't remember either.
Found stuck in datapad. Wiped of all prints. Known only to rich criminals. Leader of Blue Blood Pod. Face ID'd by Makoto. Second shot. Second to last dead.
I mean, she literally can't possibly know it's his because the whole point of a dark card is you don't have traces.
Right.
So she cannot prove, but I guess our job is to prove her wrong, not her to prove herself right.
Though the fingerprint of the owner and their 24-digit passcode, the card alone is functionally useless. Forensics show that all fingerprints have been wiped off of it at some point. Recovered at the crime scene, stuck in the... But why would somebody wipe
Why
the
would it be
prints?
wiped after Creek died?
Yeah, why would the killer, if they were not involved in the transaction, why would they wipe the prints at all?
Yeah,
if he was
that's
the one.
probably... Yeah.
So
He would have no reason to wipe his prints off
No.
of his own dark card, especially in the process of dying.
Yeah. And the killer wouldn't have any reason to do that unless it was important.
Which it was for us, but that's fine.
Which it was. So, dark card. Yeah? Because, like,
I would think.
Why would it be wiped of all prints?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think anything else makes sense.
Yeah.
Characterization, Your Honor. The people are claiming that the dark card in the evidence record belonged to the victim, Creek. Despite the fact that it had no fingerprints on it either. Oh, so she's gonna play it that way.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, hey, we got an achievement.
Hell yeah.
If that dark card had belonged to Creek, he would have had to insert it into his data pad with his teeth.
Yeah.
Yuck. So who did the dark card belong to?
Perhaps a customer who didn't like his prices.
A disgruntled customer could have wiped their prints off the card to hide the fact that they were ever there.
Yeah, that would be the only reason that somebody would wipe the prints off.
Yep.
So,
That's absurd. If a customer brought the dark card with them
was
to the crime
stuck.
scene, why the hell wouldn't they take it with them when they left?
it was stuck.
Yep.
It was stuck in the data pad, which you knew, Emma. Come on now.
They could have pulled a little harder. They could have taken the data pad with them.
Yeah, but then it would track.
Who would
Yeah.
leave behind something that valuable?
The card is worthless to everyone but its owner.
To whom it could be priceless. Why would they choose to leave it behind?
The answer to that is simple, if I'm honest. We're discussing the possibility of a deal gone south. What could cause that in the first place?
Aggressive negotiating tactics?
Or a customer who couldn't pay. So Morgan's claiming that there wasn't enough funds on the dark card.
Yeah.
What are you? This customer could afford a dark card.
And yet they couldn't pay.
Hold on, you're trying to say all these deaths, all this carnage? You think it's all because their card got declined?
Hard to live down that kind of faux pas.
Murdering 4 or 5 people in order to skip paying your bill is pretty aggressive. But if you need your fix... Was there any indication that contraband was taken from the scene of the crime?
Well, there was a knife.
Your Honor, that is difficult to say. A mask.
Without your witness?
Without knowing their inventory before the crime occurred, we cannot rule out the possibility.
That was a little lackluster of a pushback. Is she really that thrown off by this witness playing hooky?
Well, I hate to do this because I love spending time with you all and having a physical body and being ensouled. But it does seem like I have to declare a recess while we wait.
Perfectly reasonable, Your Honor.
That's the most romantic thing I've heard. Ever heard.
What?
Oh.
What?
Court is now in recess.
Okay.
So, I think we should save
Yeah.
here. First of all,
That's fair.
it's a bit late, but also, now that we're out of the courtroom, I think it's a good spot. I'm gonna save here and here because I'm paranoid.
Fair. Good choice.
Well, we did it so far.
We did it so far. We
did
did the
it
first
so
court.
far. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna go back and if he's gonna be there, or if we're gonna have to
Or
move
figure
on.
out why he skipped out.
Yeah. Or if we're gonna have to
Maybe he's an
investigate. more.
alcoholic and he was busy being asleep and drunk.
Maybe he was. Or he skipped town. Who knows?
Or he skipped town. I just feel like that'd be much more damning. So I'd
Oh,
be
for sure.
surprised.
For sure, but I think it's kind of damning to not show up to court.
Yeah. Well, which is why I was like, there might be a reason of like
Oh, like that he couldn't
either
come?
he's unconscious or like, yeah.
I don't know. It is
I'm not
possible
sure what
that
they're gonna go with.
it is possible that somebody killed him, or maybe he just got slowed down by something. I don't know.
Possible.
We'll find out next time.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We hope that you are enjoying our playthrough of the Devil, episode
Yes.
2. We should be back next week on Thursday.